afternoon, and welcome to another edition of AircraftPost Rousseau Report. I'm Dennis Rousseau. I'd like to sidetrack for just a minute. When I started AircraftPost, we set out to do something that had not been done in our industry, and that was to develop a platform to bridge the gap between the flight department, C-suite, and the industry, putting everyone on the same page, providing not only ask prices for pre-owned business jets, but selling prices, fleet statistics for each make model, strategic planning tools so prospective buyers would have one central repository to obtain unbiased intel. I can't tell you how many times I was told, numerous times, it can't be done. We were innovators. And always remember, if you choose an uncharted path, be ready for naysayers, surprises, technological hurdles, financial setbacks, deadlines set and missed. And today I can sit here and tell you our very first clients, owners, OEMs, banks, that believed in what we're embarking on are still with us 20 years later. So as I was researching the aircraft you're going to see today, believe me, I can relate to its early years. Thankfully, business don't depreciate like aircraft. And wait until you see the market depreciation for this aircraft that we're going to talk about today. It's called the Horizon. Not that one. Try again. Thank you. The Horizon was announced in 1996 with entry into service scheduled for early 2001. Due to system development and avionics integration, as well as building the aircraft to an all-new transport category certification, the aircraft experienced a 7-year delay, postponing first in-service delivery of the now renamed Hawker 4000 to April 2008. Now keep in mind there were over 1,600 Hawkers built over 55 years. The 1A, the 3A, the 400, 600, 700, 800 XP, 900 XP. So it really makes one wonder, what happened? Well, a major contributor to the delays, to achieve performance and cabin objectives, was the decision to use carbon fiber composites to build the fuselage, which Beechcraft had pioneered in the 1980s with the turboprop pusher Beech Starship. And as you can see, it was a very radical design for its time, resembling a slimmed-down version of the supersonic Concorde in a way. It used forward canards for the wing up front, supercritical wing with winglets, proven Pratt & Whitney PT6 engines. Unfortunately, the aircraft was a commercial failure, building only 53 airplanes. If you recall from previous videos, composites offer weight savings as well as a thinner fuselage structure that results in more usable cabin space. Also, the strength-to-weight ratio of carbon keeps the cabin altitude, in this case, at 6,000 feet at flight level 45,000. The fuselage is built in 3 sections by wrapping carbon fibers over a mold. And where greater strength is needed, such as around the doors and windows, or the door rather, more carbon is used. Then the sections are baked at high temperatures to cure the composite, then joined together. The wing is all metal, and although it looks a bit chunky, it employs an advanced supercritical design. Looking closer, it has a thick inboard section, but thins out as you move outboard. It has short ailerons, but the flaps extend over most of the trailing edge. It employs a lift-dump system, similar to the legacy Hawkers. You combine these characteristics, and the 4000 achieves an approach speed of 115 knots. Think about that, compared to 65 knots for a Cessna 172. Pretty amazing. The rudder, spoilers, speed brakes, full fly-by-wire. Everything else, the old-fashioned cables and bell cranks. The 4000 avionics use the Honeywell Primus Epic platform, the same system that Dassault and Gulfstream use in their current production aircraft. I've referenced this system previously, but as an overview, the central maintenance computer monitors practically every system on the aircraft and reports back to the crew on the ICAS in real time. It not only tells you what's wrong, but when it happened. Pretty amazing. The Epic system for the 4000 uses 5 LCD screens, the center being the ICAS. The outboard are primary flight displays, and nestled in between are the left and right multifunction displays. The aircraft came standard equipped with dual FMS, laser ref, enhanced ground procs, TCAS, lightning detection system, Primus 880, single HF, air cell, very well equipped for its intended mission. EBS and HUD, however, were not available. You'll notice the Longhorn yoke, the same one that's used on previous Hawkers. But that's the only commonality. The 4000 is powered by the Pratt & Whitney 308 Alpha engines, the same platform used for the Gulfstream's G200 and Dassault's Falcon 2000 Easy. The engine generates 6,900 pounds of thrust per side, full FADEC with 3,000 hour inspection intervals and auto throttles. And just a quick brief on auto throttles, they reduce pilot workload, maintain airspeed, and by way of example, for takeoff, you engage them, advance the throttles about halfway, and the system takes over and sets the required power, and does this throughout the entire flight regime. You get to altitude, they reduce speed as you level off. Now, not to be confused with FADEC, that operates in a similar manner, but we'll save that for another session. And they do work in unison, by the way. Now let's go inside the aircraft. As you enter, you'll face the forward galley, which, as you can see, is very accommodating for 8 passengers and 2 crew. In addition, there are 2 floor-to-ceiling closets. Now, if you recall, the Legacy Hawkers had a refreshment center, and directly opposite the entrance door was the main baggage compartment. With the 4000, 2 full-length closets forward and a huge aft baggage compartment, which we're going to get to in a minute. As we enter the cabin, double club seating, fore and aft, is standard. The floor is flat, from just aft of the cockpit, right through to the baggage compartment, providing a continuous cabin height of 6 feet and max width of 6 feet, 5 inches. Due to the composite construction, windows can be placed at the optimum height for looking outside, similar to Gulfstream's 500, 600, 650. Standard cabin management system is Collins Airshow 21, or as an option, Airshow 4000 with moving map system. All seats are berthable, providing sleeping accommodations for 4 adults, or 8 kids, or 12 dogs. Anyway, the aft cabin can be configured with a 3-place divan in place of 2 singles, bringing passenger capacity to 9. And the aft lav is closed off from the main cabin with a pocket door and with a center door between the lav and vanity for unencumbered access to the 115 cubic foot baggage compartment. It can easily accommodate luggage for 8 passengers, including golf clubs, bikes, and anything else you care to throw in there. So how does all this technology equate to range? First off, the 4000 climbs direct to flight level 410, has a 7+ hour endurance at 0.8 Mach, which translates into roughly 3,100 nautical miles. New York, Western Europe, nonstop. New York to South America, nonstop. Not only was the Hawker unique in class with its use of composites, but for its time, the competition included the Challenger 300 and Falcon's 50EX, as well as Gulfstream's G200. And as you can see, other than its fuel burn, the aircraft excelled in class with the lowest cabin altitude of 6,000 feet at flight level 450. 3,100 mile range? Perfect. Aircraft fell short against the competition with fuel burn. The other 3 burn on average 275 gallons an hour compared to the 4000 at 315. The other downside is over its 5-year production, there were only 76 aircraft built, which we're going to circle back to in just a second after the market brief. Currently 7 available aircraft, with ask prices ranging from $3.3 to $4.2 million, with an absorption rate of 14 months, which means based upon the most recent sales, it would take 14 months to sell those 7 aircraft. 3 transactions in the last 6 months, ranging from 2.5 to 3.25 million, or an average of 2.9. Average ask price for these sales, 3.2 million, which gives you about a 10% spread. Now, can this 10% be applied to any business jet? No. And the reason is, some aircraft are overpriced. So buyer beware. Know what aircraft are selling for and why before you jump into the pre-owned markets. Now to market depreciation. The Hawker 4000 had an average price point new of $21.9 million. In 4 years, it lost 75% of its original cost new. And since 2014, it's just trickled along, and year-to-date 2021 average selling price for a 10-year-old aircraft is $3.25 million. So what happened? Because in 2011, Hawker Beechcraft, as it was then known, embarked on a program to retrofit the fleet, which numbered 46 aircraft, to current standards, a program that was the first of its kind in the history of business aviation. Very ambitious program. Every 4,000 would be given new interiors, avionics upgrades at no cost. The entire retrofit would take 60 to 90 days and be accomplished at Hawker Beechcraft's Little Rock facility. Hawker Beach would even provide interim lift for the owners. In addition, they would also receive the best warranty in the business, 10 years, 10,000 hours on the airframe, 5 years or 3,000 hours on the engines. Had I been a Hawker 4000 owner, I would have thought the world of the OEM. What was going on? Beechcraft was bought by a Canadian investment firm, Onyx Partners, and Goldman Sachs in 2007. Then the 08-09 recession. Business jet markets tanked, and in May 2012, they filed bankruptcy, suspending production of the 4000 and a couple other models. They tried to sell off the 4000 and Premier, which is in the small jet category, or light jet rather, to no avail, emerging from bankruptcy 9 months later, when Textron acquired Beechcraft for $1.4 billion, placing this company and Cessna under one umbrella. Although they vowed to support the aircraft, they also stated the Hawker lines would not return to production, which left the owners in a sad state for such a great aircraft. We believe the Cessna Longitude was and is the replacement for the 4000. And as we learned later, there was a 4000 flying around with a winglet, which really boosted current owner morale, seeing some life in the aircraft. But that wasn't going to happen. Learjet is no longer. Hawker series is over. Farewell to legacy aircraft. Now, let's get on our Hawker and get out of here. For Aircraft Post, I'm Dennis Rousseau with the Rousseau Report. Thank you for tuning in.